Hello, ladies, and welcome to day 2 of the Perfect 10, our free fitness, nutrition, and mindset challenge. So I'm gonna just let the video stream here as we let you pop on. And as always, if you're catching it on the replay, make sure you comment below #replay. So as you gals are gathering for day 2, I want to introduce myself. Perhaps you're playing catch up, or perhaps you're just kind of like, hey, who is this Aubrey person? So my name is Aubrey Warwick. I've been in the business of building bodies and helping women fall in love with who they see in the mirror for over 2 decades. Yeah. And my background includes TV fitness expert, bikini pro. I'm a mom. I'm a wife. I'm a lover of life. What else do I do, Dan? I owned a pole dancing studio for 14 years. Yeah. So the reason why I tell you this is because I, like you, wear many hats, and we kind of embrace all these different identities. And right now, if I could read your mind, you are probably doing this program because you have a vested interest in your health and well-being. Because, gang, we got one earth suit in this lifetime. And if we don't have the opportunity to take care of it, we don't feel like we're thriving. We don't feel like we're living life to its fullest ability. There was a time in my life, to be honest, that I kind of felt foolish or almost ashamed that I was involved in the fitness space. I thought that people looked at me like I was superficial because I cared what I looked like. I cared what I felt like. And I really struggled with that identity for a while because people would tell me all the time, oh, you can't make money in that. Oh, really? That's just a hobby. So what I wrote down today was what I was really blessed with. And that's a part of the Perfect 10. So I got this great habit after reading the book by Rhonda Byrne called, oh my God. No, it wasn't The Secret. Rhonda Byrne did write The Secret, but it's called The Magic. Sorry. Dan is to my left. My husband is to my left. He's going to be reading all your comments and everything. But I injected part of Rhonda's notion into the Perfect 10 is to write down 10 things that you're grateful for, your blessings, your good fortune. And as I was writing these things down today, I absolutely, ladies, you were on my list. And I am so grateful to have this chance and this time with you because you have an hour with me, and that is valuable because you can't get your time back. In fact, today, the Perfect 10 on day 2, we talk about some very important things, and we are going to talk about time shifting. Again, if you are new here, this past summer, I was featured on the cover and inside the City Scene magazine. This magazine was distributed to 20,000 people in the Pittsburgh area, and that was another thing I was super grateful for. Really because it allowed me to show people what I can do to help you succeed in terms of improving your body composition, balancing your hormones, because food affects our hormones, and allowing yourself to, if you feel good, chances are you think you look good. I know that from firsthand experience. So I want you to just drop in to the comments if you are ready to play full out. All right. I need to hear you say out there, yes, because I ask you this and there's no wrong answer, but are you there to just sit idly by and listen? Or are you there because you want to change your life with this program? Because you can, you absolutely can. And in the words of Tony Robbins, change can happen in an instant. It is just beneath the surface. All right, so what we are going to do, I want to give some shout outs to those ladies who were able to do day 1's assignment of the Perfect 10. And if you didn't do it yet, that's okay. No, there's no judgment, no worries. As long as you do it, that's wonderful. I pinned a post to this group and it said day 1 assignment was the sticky note assignment, where you are going to put stop. We did this stop sign technique on day 1. I'm a Perfect 10. Now I saved this secret ingredient for the very end of our live stream because without this technique, no plan will work. But with it, it's going to work. What this does, it stops you from making that same insane decision, right? Whatever it is, over and over, to take pause and to see if you can ask yourself a better question. To say something like, wait a minute, how am I going to feel after I eat that? Ooh, yeah, maybe not the best. Or stop, Aubrey, you're enough. You are deserving of that goal at the end of the 10 days. So I had some other sticky notes that I like to write down. I would say, stop. Does this align with my goals? And this technique was so powerful. And again, I injected this from some of the best human beings that I've come across, Dr. Doris Cohen, world-renowned hypnotherapist. Something so simple. And that is my MO. I am all about kissing it. Keep it simple to succeed. I don't say stupid, right? We don't need to be dissing ourselves. All right, so let's give a shout out, Dan, to some people that definitely did their you work and were playing full out. So maybe you did it, but you're like, I don't want to post anything. Gang, please post it. This group that's what it's meant to be for. It ain't bragging if you done it. I love that. I'm going to quote everybody. That's a Walt Whitman quote. It ain't bragging if you done it. So you're not bragging, put it out there. Let's see what you got. So I want to give a shout out. I know Tina Paul did her you work. I saw that Acacia, she works in a supermarket. She was like writing it on her hand, right? Her sticky notes, stop on perfect 10. So she shared with us that she is a nursing mom. And we're going to talk about that. If you have special considerations for this program, part of what I do when people sign up for my one-on-one paid program is I customize everything. So I said to Acacia, I said, you know what? She's going to need more food. She's nursing. She's burning a lot of calories breastfeeding, which is also another blessing. And I help people with that to say, okay, we can still be really healthy and mindful, but it's not like we want to diet her, right? Nobody should be starving with this. Okay.
Lilium, Myket.
Lisa,
all to their homework.
Renee, Lisa. Oh yes, Lisa. She posted a sticky note on a birthday cake. And I was like, and Lilium, she posted her sticky note on ice cream. And I said, it's Lilium versus the ice cream. I have my bets on Lilium. Yeah. And this is tough stuff, you know? I mean, I told you gals last week, it's important to kind of be radically honest with yourself and to say, am I ready to have this food in the house right now? Am I ready for that? Have I built up I want you to drop it in the comments what my AMC stands for. Do you remember what your AMC stands for, Dan? No. Oh, he doesn't. The anterior mid-cingulate cortex. And that part of the brain where some of the most disciplined human beings on the face of the earth, they got big ones, man. So maybe right now your AMC, it's not that big. That's okay. You didn't even know it existed. I didn't. Until a couple years ago. All right, so now that you know, knowledge is power. And sometimes a little bit of paranoia. Because we also talked about yesterday what the P10 lifestyle really is. That we're trying to choose clean foods, whole foods, organic foods during these 10 days in order to get our liver to function at a fever pitch. Because the liver is the star of the show in terms of fat metabolization and detoxing the body. A lot of times we think of detox and it's like, oh, this miserable experience. It doesn't have to be. You started your morning with some lively lemon water that is so invigorating, and it helps to pull out toxins from your precious liver. You also started with the liver rescue smoothie, courtesy of the medical media, and I love what he has done for human beings is to help us all naturally without supplements or any crazy potions, just use the power of what Earth has given us to help heal us from the inside out. Pretty darn cool. Can I get maybe a little fire on that? I feel some fire. I like to snap a lot too. Snap or clap. If you're a good snapper, you can snap if you're liking that. Okay, so that was our recap from yesterday. Did I forget anything, Dan, to recap? I'm putting him to the test. He's eating an apple right now. So he's like crunching and munching and everything like that. Okay. The other thing that we did that was really, really crucial is that we did a visualization. And we went through some breath work, which the breath work is going to help you actually lower your beta brainwave state, that busy monkey mind, and pull you in to your body. That's what we want. So today you gotta close out those tabs on your computer, brush away the spam calls, all that stuff. We are going to breathe together again today, but we are gonna do something a little bit different, okay? So we're gonna start with some breath work, and then I'm gonna show you a really powerful technique at the end of this, how to break through a fitness plateau, how to make exercise a permanent habit without spending hours in the gym, and how to further build your body as this beautiful work of art, as it already is. Okay, so Dan's gonna keep me on track here. So yesterday we learned about the box breath. And today I wanna teach you something that I absolutely love. And if you've done this before, feel free to drop in the comments, that you have done it before. But it's called EFT, not to be confused with ET. Okay, extraterrestrials, that's another conversation. EFT, the emotional freeing technique known as tapping. So if you've ever tapped before, give me a thumbs up. And if you're thinking that I'm talking about tap dancing and you have tap danced before, let me see your best time step. Yes, I want to see that. Prove it. Okay, so the EFT tapping was invented or discovered in the 70s by a woman psychiatrist, when she kind of leaned into the idea of acupuncture, where with acupuncture as an ancient Chinese medicine, we were able to release trapped emotions in the body, tap into different meridians that we can help heal ourselves. Well, what she kind of discovered with one of her patients was tapping on acupuncture points was very, very effective. So I'm going to teach you one of my favorite points. And depending on which energy medicine worker you have followed or researched, these points right under your collarbones, I like calling them, according to Donna Eden, energy buttons. And there's these little energy buttons right underneath of our collarbones, right by our thymus gland. And we are going to be tapping on this area. I've taught my clients this, my participants this. This is a really great one to calm anxiety. Maybe if you do have a lot of food noise that goes on in your head, maybe you do struggle with that little jerk inside your head that's a self-doubter. We're going to start to tap into that. And whenever those feelings come up, you're just going to bless and release them, essentially. Or if you want to flip them the middle finger or do the good old-fashioned suck it symbol, that's cool too. Okay, so when we tap, there's different areas to tap on, but for our intents and purposes today, we are just going to focus on our little energy buttons right here next to our thymus gland that helps stimulate our immune system. So let's first start, my ladies, with a couple of palate cleansing breaths. So you're going to inhale through the nose consciously. And as you exhale, you're going to swallow to reset your rest and digest nerve, that vagus nerve. Do that again. Inhale consciously, raising that nitric oxide into the bloodstream. And exhale, swallow. Good, third time's a charm. Inhale and exhale, swallow. Let's begin with our eyes open. We're going to start to tap underneath our collarbones. Yesterday, we had a duel with ourselves, the human being that we look in the mirror at. And in that looking glass, we visualized ourselves as a young girl, a young human, seeing all the aspirations in her eyes. And as she looked back at us, as she was looking up at us with complete admiration. And there was no doubt. There was no doubt in her mind that she could achieve great things, that she could do hard things. So we're going to close our eyes and we're going to allow any feelings of resistance to come up. Perhaps there's doubt in your mind right now. in that monkey mind, the 60,000 thoughts racing through your brain. You can acknowledge that doubt, but I want you to say what that is. So you can declare that out loud. And now I want you to say, even though this has been true in the past, whatever that doubt is, I have the opportunity to change. Repeat that. Even though this has been true in the past, I have the opportunity to change. Change can happen in an instant. Change can happen in an instant. I allow myself today to let go of the things that no longer serve me. And I allow myself to be present in this moment to lean in to the change that awaits for my greatest and my highest good. I allow myself to accept this change for my greatest and highest good. Take a deep breath, inhale. Exhale, swallow, continue to tap. Inhale. Exhale, swallow. Give me one more big one, gals. Inhale. And exhale, swallow. Now slowly turn that tapping into maybe some sparkle fingers, a massage underneath those collarbones. You can give yourself a happy little hug. Think about what that hug represents. It's amazing to hug yourself, P.S., because if nobody's around and you really need a hug, who's going to do it? Good. Maybe a little sloughing. Feel your body. Be here right now. And rub those palms together. Thank you. All right. I'd like to hear from you. What is your biggest doubt? What came up for you? What did you kind of just put out there to say, even though that was true in the past, son of a gun, I'm open to change? Okay. So Dan's going to read those off in a moment here, but really nice job here, everybody. And again, I want to say thank you to all of those who did your you work with our stop it, I'm a perfect 10 technique. I'm curious if anyone was able to find pictures of themselves when they were a little girl. And I just love looking at these pictures of my son. I stumbled across some great videos of him that I shared in this group when he was 4 or 5 years old. Oh my gosh, that is what I love about technology, is to time travel back to some really awesome moments. Okay, so let's move on. As Dan will, just feel free to interrupt me if anybody is vulnerable, willing, and able to talk about, how they doubt themselves. Okay. So we are going to now move into, because you got to stick around at the end, because I'm going to show you one of my biggest bikini competitor hacks for your P10 workout that's going to blow your mind. I don't know if it's going to blow your mind. I think it's going to give you something fun to inject into this program, and whether or not you're currently exercising, you're going to be like, oh yeah, I got this. Okay. Let's see here. One of the biggest objections to a program like this, or any program out there that I've heard, and I'm wondering if it's come out of your mouth before, I ain't got time for that. So have you ever been concerned with time, right? Aubrey, I can't spend all that time in the gym. And sometimes we think that way because in a past life, we were exercising for long periods of time. I work with clients who sign up with me a lot when they're like, oh my gosh, I used to do this. I used to do XYZ, but that chapter is kind of closed, right? And so now we look at you to say, well, where are you right now? And again, how are we going to close your gap? Because where you are, whatever got you here is not going to get you there. Right? The same actions that you're doing now is not going to get you to that next step. We talked yesterday about hey, I just want to be a millionaire, right? I want money to fall from the sky. That is a fantasy. And we have to do the work to put we have to do the work in order to get to the goal. But oftentimes we tell ourselves things like, well, I know what to do, I just won't do it. And we don't want to allow time or money. Those are the two biggest objections to, we don't want to allot time or money in order to get to our goal, right? How many of you have done that before? Okay. I've been there, done that. So we are going to be talking also about how to shift different costs with that. The cost perspective is a big deal. And we'll figure that out tomorrow, because the crazy thing is, when I started this program, I was like, oh my gosh, just like we have in the past counted calories or macros, we want to see like, where are our dollars being allotted to? And are those dollars that we allot to things, is that actually being put to our number one goal right now of 2026 to improve our health, our mindset, and our happiness? And if the answer is no, then you got to check yourself so you don't wreck yourself, right? We see these things where it's like those instant dopamine hits. If I hear one more influencer try to sell me on whatever thing is out there, you know, you might like, my head might explode, because there's so many quick fixes. Maybe you even thought like, hey, this is a quick fix because I kind of baited you. Not really, not in a bad way. It's free. You didn't have to buy anything but your groceries. But everything on social media is sales and marketing, because everyone's competing for someone's attention. And I will tell you this, it's a matter of what isn't aligned with you. So you can use that stop sign sticky note for anything to say, stop, before I buy this, is this in alignment with me? And that's what I have done time and time again, to be like, Aubrey, wait a minute. Am I using my dollars to really get where I want to be? So sometimes it surprises people. I can't believe that you have a coach, right? Yeah, but I want to be that awesome person for someone else to practice what I preach. So I'm allotting those dollars to appropriately, so that I can level up myself to help people better, like yourself. Dan's giving me the look. Anything that you need to say? Okay, all right. Okay. So where was I? We were talking about time shifting now. All right, so let's go to time shift. Drop in the comments if you currently are exercising, and let me know how many days a week that is. Okay? So be playing full out. You guys might be driving. Don't message and drive, but I do need to hear from you, because the challenging thing about a Facebook Live is it's not Zoom, right? You just can't shout it out. I can't hear you. I'm just talking to myself, and Dan is.
And there's a delay. So.
And there's a delay. So there we go. All right. But anyway, hey, we do the best that we can with this technology, which is pretty nice. All right.
Christine does 3 to 4 days a week. Lisa's doing 2 to 3 times a week.
Okay. Nice, Christine. And Lisa, 2 to 3. Very nice. Okay. And that's consistent. Okay, so this is helping you to strengthen that anterior mid-cingulate cortex. Say that 5 times fast, I dare you. Now you guys have these already in your repertoire. You are like, no matter what, I am going to exercise. So let's say you're listening and you're like, yeah, I don't have that. I'm gonna teach you something, and it's what I call stealth mode. Yeah.
So Renee has 2 days a week.
Renee's 2 days a week.
Kelly is 5 to 6 days a week, and Lenita is also 5 to 6 days a week.
Awesome. Very good. Okay. So let's say, okay, we have kind of a wide range. For those of you who have commented, you have documented the frequency of your workouts. Obviously, there's a duration attached to it. So sometimes we just look at that frequency and it's like, well, I don't have the time to do that same type of workout more. So this is where I'm going to give you some examples, and you have to apply the examples to you, but you can see also how I work with people. I will be, how I work with people to say like, all right, let's say we'll use Lenita as an example. She's very active. I know that she is a very active group fitness instructor. She's working out 5 to 6 days a week. Do we really want her to do more? Probably not. Now I'd have to look at your plan in more detail, but what we are going to do today is think about maybe your goal of building more muscle mass. So if that's the goal, I've worked with a lot of group fitness instructors before that we have to start to tweak things where it's like we have to shift our time. Either it is maybe one class out of the week that we might take away to devote to strength training, or we inject the Perfect 10 formula where maybe we don't see a lot of strength training that's going to build muscle mass. So that Perfect 10 formula, we anchor a habit that she would already have. Perhaps it's teaching group fitness. That we would say, okay, we can allot maybe 10 minutes right before her group fitness class, and we are going to pick one specific exercise that she is going to lean into and do really, really well with her strength training. Let's use something simple that we're going to do today, squatting, and add weight to that exercise. Now I know that Lenita, she belongs to a fitness center. For a lot of you, you don't. So we are going to apply that as well. So we would anchor a new habit to a habit that she already had, but just with a little bit of extra time. So this is an example of habit anchoring. All of you are already doing this after you brush your teeth in the morning with those 10 squats, 10 push-ups, and your 10 crunches. What we have to start to let go of is thinking, I have to lift weights for an hour. That is not necessary. We have to start somewhere. It's just like when I tell my son, like he wants to own a Jeep someday. Well, if we start now and just save a little bit of money, eventually you're gonna have the Jeep. Because if you don't start with strength training just a little bit, well, guess what? You're gonna stay the same, right? And I lived a life where I was teaching a ton of group fitness classes, loved it, lots of Les Mills classes, but there's a body type that goes along with that. Even if I was teaching a class like body pump, it was more metabolic conditioning and strength and training, rather complete hardcore strength training. So we'll talk, that could be a conversation for a Wellness Wednesday. The other thing that I like to do with my stealth mode is, and I've tried all these different techniques with women throughout the years. You want to get the most important piece of movement into your day as early as you can, because life is going to come at you during your day where I need a bomb here, but where's my fire? I got a fire one. Yeah, life is going to come at you throughout your day and derail you. It always does. It always, always does. So the sooner that you can get in that most vital ingredient into your day, the better. That's why we want to anchor that formula to your already good habit. Like everyone's brushing their teeth, right? And if you're not, don't let anybody know. Okay, they'll know. All right, but so you're already brushing your teeth. So if you're like, all right, if I just do 10 really good squats before I brush my teeth, then it's done. And if I do anything else throughout the rest of the day, it's a bonus. Honestly, gang, that's how I started in fitness. I could not make fitness a habit as a teenager. It happened to be a dance teacher of mine was like, Aubrey, just do 10 push-ups a day. You're overcomplicating this. And I was like, oh, doy. And it was something that just resonated with me, and that's what I stuck with it. Where then after the 10 push-ups, I was like, well, I kind of feel like doing some crunches. So sometimes we just overcomplicate things, but that's what I like to call my stealth mode. I go into stealth mode, distraction-free, and it has to be for a short period of time, because you will eventually get interrupted on your phone or whatever it is, but you have to slice that piece of your time pie out that you commit to yourself. Do not let any text message interrupt you. All right, unless it's an emergency. I know we always like to say that, but what if I have an emergency? Okay, I get it. But let's imagine it's just a regular old day. I'll set the parameters on your phone where you're like, I'm in stealth mode right now, and I'm only committing to the specific task. Let's say it's our exercise, our strength training, and I'm not going to respond. Period. So let me know if that makes sense. Drop a little fire emoji if that makes sense. Now we are going to talk about, let's say a lot of you want to build more muscle mass. And today we are going to talk about a technique that helps you understand time under tension. And we have to reverse engineer perhaps the body type that we want. Oftentimes we think, well, if I do all this exercise, I'm going to look and feel a certain way. Well, make sure that you are doing the right modalities to get to the end result. And I'm going to use myself as an example. There was a season of my life where I would run. Oh man, I did not like it. But I thought, well, this is going to help me lose weight. All right. And guess what? It made me gain weight. A lot of it. Made me hungry. My joints were killing me. I was teaching a ton of group fitness classes. I shot my adrenal glands to poop. Okay. And I was struggling. I was really struggling. I didn't make sense. I was doing all this movement, right? But you can get the runner body or the group fitness body that I had. It wasn't a bad body. It just was not the appropriate behaviors that would equate the body type that I want. So when we start to wonder about our why and go back to that big W from yesterday, what is your why? Well, I'm doing this because, and you have to declare that, because otherwise we are just peeing in the wind, right? Okay, Dan, does that make sense in terms of stealth mode and habit anchoring?
Absolutely.
Okay. So what we are going to do, we are going to talk about your U work assignment, and then I'm going to show you what I want you to do to inject something vital into your P10 exercises, or if you're already working out, like the ladies who were dropping in the comments, you're going to pick one of your exercises that you're currently doing at the gym or at home, and you're going to inject this technique. So, okay, without further ado, let's talk about your U work. So, whatever you plan to do, I'm going to teach you this little technique today. You have to comment on day 2's pinned post once I post it when you're going to do this. I need to see when your stealth mode is. So meaning if you put it on your calendar on your phone, or you can type in the comments to say, Aubrey, I plan to do my stealth mode at this time of the day, this frequency, the who, what, where, when, how. That's what we need to see. Would that be fair?
It's fair.
So it could be like a screenshot if you are a person that likes to put stuff in your calendar on your phone, or you can type it in. All right. So for example, for me, our schedule has changed since we've moved to Lake Norman from the Irwin area. And I'll be honest, I really don't like still being at the gym after 7:30 a.m. Guess what? Now I can't get to the gym until 7:30 a.m. So I feel like a raccoon out in daylight, because I feel like, oh my gosh, it's daylight now, the sun's up, I need to be doing something productive with my business, my son's in school, hurry, hurry, hurry. Now he gets on the bus now at like 6:40. So there's no way girlfriend's getting up at 4 a.m. to work out. I am not doing that to myself. So I have to shift. And as I'm shifting, my stealth mode now is at 7:30 a.m. It's very challenging for me to not respond to my clients, to not check social media for this group, but I have made my stealth mode to say, Aubrey, if you do that, you're going to be at the gym having a crappy workout, not practicing what you preach, being extremely distracted, and not present in that moment. Those tasks can wait. So I have shifted. That is my stealth mode, 7:30 a.m. If people need me, unless it's an emergency, chances are I'm not going to get back to you for an hour. Big deal. It's really not. Okay. So I see people all the time, like at the grocery store, they can't even complete their grocery order because they're texting. There's no judgment. It just is, it brings awareness to be like, for the love of the Lord in heaven, let's just put the phone down, except when you're on Perfect 10 live. Okay. All right. So that is the point. I want to know when your stealth mode is. Word.
I'd like to call out Phil on this U work, because she works out 0 times.
Oh,
right
Phil.
now. So she needs to establish something and get it in her day.
Oh my gosh. So I want to give a shout out to one of my great mentors back when I was in my late 20s. Miss Philia. If you guys don't know her, you have to definitely check her out. But she was a great mentor to me. She is one of the reasons why I wanted to help other women fall in love with who they see in their mirror. She was probably one of the first women who I recognized who would make me feel so beautiful. So I thank her for that. And the least I can do for Phil is to help get her working out again. Because I'll tell you what, there was a short period of time where Phil helped me open up a pole dancing studio. And she lived with me for about 30 days. And she just did everything that Aubrey did. She ate like I ate. She worked out when I worked out. Her transformation was off the charts. So Phil, you have a notorious body type to be a very fast responder. I guarantee the cool thing is, if you latch onto this, you are absolutely, positively going to succeed. All right.
Christine's got her stuff moved at 6:30 a.m. Monday through Friday.
Christine, who?
Furman,
Christine. All right, it's 6:30 a.m. All right. Christine Furman, also wonderful human being. So glad that you are here. She is a home educator. She's a wonderful business called EduPlay, and an awesome podcast. And I mean, if you can, with your busy life, if you can do this, anybody can do this. I got it. Okay. So speaking of distractions, I just had a phone call come in from Mooresville. I pray to God it was not the school. So we'll see, but we're almost done. Okay, so gals, here it is. Are you ready for this? Are you ready? Give me a yes. We are going to do your Hourglass Goddess workout that is in, okay, no, it's not. It's not the school. Okay, it's just some gym that's trying to sell me on becoming a member. And I'm going to say no. Okay, all right. So anyway, we in your packet, in your Perfect 10 manual, you will see different links that you could click on that I have little mini workouts for you. One's called the Hourglass Goddess. And the point of that is I start to teach you how to build better symmetry for your body type. And I've been doing this for myself for years, working with my genetics, not against them. But the Hourglass Goddess is to help build your shoulders, narrow your waistline, and to perk up your peach emoji. Who doesn't want that? So we are going to focus on now something different that I've never done with P10. And it is, drum roll, tempo training. Dun, dun, dun. All right, we talked about time under tension. Time under tension is really what strength training is all about. I mentioned body pump before. Body pump, if you've ever taken a pre-choreographed fitness class like body pump, it is a great example of what tempo training is. It's all choreographed to music, and the goal is through a set amount of weight selected that you are going to fatigue your muscles to the point where it's going to create a stimulus. It's going to create a response of a little bit of growth, hypertrophy, lean muscle mass is developed. Now, let's say we're hashtag over that. We've already mastered perhaps that metabolic conditioning. To break through any type of fitness plateau, whether you're at home or you're at the gym, or maybe your glutes aren't growing or your shoulders don't seem to respond to certain exercises, tempo training is extremely effective. Now, I want you to understand what tempo training is. Tempo training is basically playing around with how fast or how slow you are executing something through range of motion. So we're going to perfect our Hourglass Goddess today, and we're going to perfect our squat specifically. So as we're doing our 10, 10, 10, our 10 squats, our 10 push-ups, etc., I did this on my Envision call last night with my one-on-one clients. And we are going to, if you have this, I want you to go run and get a broomstick. Okay, but I'm going to show you this with a broomstick and how I'm going to clean up my squatting technique. So that's first and foremost. All right. And let's see, I might have to have Dan make some adjustments for me. All right. So I have my broomstick here. And the good old-fashioned broomstick squat. Think like you just got out of the shower and you're drying off your back, or maybe you got an itch that you need to scratch. We're going to take our broomstick and we're going to put it at the back of the head, between the shoulder blades, and touch the tailbone. Now, those are 3 points of contact, 3 POCs, 3 points of contact. For this, you can start to feel those 3 points of contact. I just want you to hip hinge, kind of just like you're a toy soldier, hip hinge, keeping those 3 points of contact. All right, keep it. Don't round the back. If you lose a point of contact, big red X. Now, you can relax your arm position and then try that with the other arm on top if you want. The next thing before you proceed is to figure out your stance. And whenever I mess around with squats, you could take your feet under your shoulders, outside of your hips, toes pointing forward, whatever the case may be, but you have to allow yourself to get grounded. And I like to do a couple like heel drops, okay? Dropping your weight in towards your heels and then finding your center of gravity. So now we're gonna take that broomstick up overhead again, now that you have your nice stance and your 3 POCs, your 3 points of contact. You're gonna tip from your hip like a toy soldier and then squat down and come straight back up. Now, I'm actually gonna talk Dan through this, if Dan can keep doing this, because I wanna show you tempo training at its finest. You're fine, you can keep your sweatshirt on. Okay, so the first type of tempo training is probably what you all are already doing if you are working out. If you're not working out, this is very general. And it's a 2-2 tempo. So when he does this, or rather I should say this is a 2-1-2-0 tempo. I don't want to be too confusing. Let's just call it 2-2. So as he's doing this, it's like he's painting a fence with his tempo. He's going to come down 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, up 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, down 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, up 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. So it's nice and even. Keep going, Dan. Let's keep the heat. All right. Typically, when you see people strength training, if they're doing it correctly, it's nice and even flow. Now, if I don't have extra weights or whatever the case may be, I've hit a plateau, I can't go up in my weight selection for whatever, we're gonna change this, and this is going to help him stimulate more hypertrophy in his legs. Hypertrophy means we can grow more muscle fibers, push that muscle to the skin, get more dense, look more toned and buff, right? Have more lively metabolic tissue. All those yummy things. Doesn't that sound exciting? So the other thing that we are going to do, I love this time under tension builder. This one is a 4-2-1-0. What that means is, as he elongates on his eccentric contraction, he's going to go down for 4 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Hold for 1, 2, come up 1, and then go right back down. Go down 4, 3, 2, 1, hold 2, 1 Mississippi, 2, what are you doing? 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4, hold 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, come up 1 Mississippi, and go right back down. So this is the part where he is elongating the muscles. He's going to now pause for isometrically, come up and contract. So in a Wellness Wednesday talk, we can talk a little bit more about the eccentric contraction, the isometric when you pause, and the concentric when we start to narrow that space between the 2 joints and the pause. Tempo training is a wonderful way in order for you to get more stimuli in your body. But let's say you have a lagging body part, and what I like to call ass amnesia. A lot of times people are like, Aubrey, I can't grow my glutes to save my life. And I was like, oh girl, you used to have a pancake butt. Look at him now. So we can do this, right? Now, everyone's going to be a little bit genetically different, right? We're not going to suddenly look like Kim Kardashian in 30 days, okay, with our booty. But Dan has definitely been able to develop his glutes as he has incorporated strength training, incorporated this type of tempo training. So the moral of the story is, you are going to pick one exercise that you want to play around with, i.e. the squat, executing or acknowledging the time under tension or your tempo, okay? Now, we're going to let Dan do this with our push-ups, okay? And I told you this was the Hourglass Goddess, so I'm going to teach you a shoulder push-up, all right? This is also in a video that is in your manual. So Dan's gonna come into like a really crunchy downward dog. Now, if currently you do not have a kneeling push-up, I'm gonna recommend doing a wall push-up. I've demonstrated those in past P10s, but we're gonna be doing like a shoulder push-up down dog. So right now you can see him from one angle, and he's gonna come down with that 2-2 tempo. So you're gonna go down 2, bending his elbows like he's trying to kiss the floor, and up 2, good, and down 2, and up 2. Now rep ranges would just be 10, because now what he's doing, he's simulating a shoulder press, and we can play around with the tempo here. This is great for beginners and vets, all right, when we start to play around with the tempo. So let's try that 4 count slow, okay? Pausing for 2, up 1, and go right back down. Okay, Dan, are you ready for that? Now, to make it harder on himself, he can walk his feet in closer. Yep, so it's like his butt's really high in the air. Wow. And to make this easier on yourself, you can do this against a wall. All right, because your push-ups are still going to target your shoulders in some way, specifically the anterior deltoids. He's getting a little bit more of the medial deltoid in here since he's doing it from a downward facing dog position. And all the while, breath is flowing deeply. Ooh la la, breathe in, breathe out. So again, that time under tension builder, he's coming down slowly 4 Mississippis. He's going to pause for 2 Mississippis, come up for 1 Mississippi, and go right back down. So that he is feeling all different types of contractions, the elongation of the muscle, the isometric hold, which you freeze, the contraction of the muscle as well, which is really, really cool. This helps you make a better mind-muscle connection, undoubtedly so. Did you feel that in your shoulders?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, wonderful. Really, really nice. Okay, now that we have our broomstick out still, this one is not in your manual. I have something that I've loved to help women with diastasis recti over the years, something in your video. I call it the towel cinching crunch. For those of you who've done P10 before, I love, love, love it. It has helped me when I had pretty poor diastasis recti. In terms of like my linea alba split open after I had my son. So thanks to a great physical therapist, I was able to zip that up a little bit better. I still have an abdominal hernia, but my point is we're gonna try something else to make Dan look like an hourglass goddess. Aren't you excited, Dan? So now that we worked on his peach emoji with perfecting his squat with the tempo, and we were working on his shoulders, trying to feel it in the deltoids, right? To build that hourglass. This works for guys too, of course, but we just call it something different. I don't know what we call it. But now we're gonna work on the core, okay? So I'm gonna have you bring that broomstick across your back, just like you were to squat with a barbell. This is a brand new broom, so I'm not flicking dirt everywhere in my kitchen, I swear, okay? And the reason why we're not using a real barbell is because I wanna show you guys that you can use these different tools at home. Okay, so from here, Dan, what you are going to do is focus on just some basic we've not practiced this. I'm worried he's gonna break the vase. Okay, let me show you what you're gonna do. All right, so we're gonna think about twisting at the waistline. So as you're doing this is a windmill twist, but I will get out of your way. Don't do it with me. Okay, so the broomstick is across your back, and you're gonna rotate your chest to the side and coming back up. So he's just gonna take a twist very consciously to help to not just incorporate the obliques, okay? Because the oblique muscles, the love handle muscles, yeah, we know what they do, but this is dangerous with that there. Okay. Now I want you to think like you're trying to touch your kneecap with it. So this torso twist, there we go. As he's doing, it's creating a twist through the thoracic spine, the middle of his back. Kind of, sort of, I might have to demo this. Okay, good. And we would do 10 reps on each side. So this windmill twist, what we want to do, everybody wants the snatch waistline, if that's what the cool kids are still calling it, the snatch waistline. So in order to do that, the windmill is really, really an effective exercise in terms of you engaging not just your obliques, but I wanted to mention your transverse abs. Anything that I do with Perfect 10, I love to teach people the part of their core that they're not engaging. And as you are doing this, you're going to think about what I call the trifecta of contractions. You're going to squeeze your pelvic floor, the muscles that stop the flow of urine. So pretend you're about to pee your pants, squeeze that, and squeeze your ass, and then draw your navel into your spine. So that those 3 little contractions as I'm doing this is helping to create that internal corset as I'm twisting and moving. And this, my friends, would be your hourglass goddess. Last but not least, what I love to tell my clients when they just feel like, oh my gosh, Aubrey, how am I gonna fit this all in? All these techniques that you are doing are helping you get connected with your physical self, which is a pretty cool gift. So just you being more aware of your posture when you're out and about, engaging these muscles, focusing on what we just talked about, you can sneak in these little exercises with a lot of people not even knowing, right? So even me just squeezing the pelvic floor, squeezing my butt while I'm waiting for someone in line, instead of just letting my glutes go all lackadaisy. But squeezing my backside is going to help me, again, innervate those muscle fibers and help your metabolism go up. So guys, I don't want to be a runaway train, but I did really want to focus on tempo training. I hope that was helpful. This was a little bit of an impromptu session with what tempo training is. And I thank you, Dan, for just being a rock star and doing this with me. But drop in the comments what exercise specifically you are going to do with your new tempo training technique. All right. Is it your squats? Is it your push-ups? Is it something that you're already doing at the gym? I would love to hear from you. Whatever body part is lagging, that is what I'm going to recommend for you. Okay. All right. We got any other comments coming in?
Not yet.
Okay. Guys, I see that you're out there. Don't be so quiet. We don't want crickets. Okay. All right. So let's recap, everybody. Today's point of it all, for day 2, really what I want you to focus on is not only your Perfect 10 assets, but your time shift, how you are going to allot the appropriate amount of time for your workout routine. So we want to talk about going into stealth mode, how we anchored now a newer or new-ish habit to a habit that you already have. That is your biggest homework assignment of today, or your you work, so that you can shift that time. And it gives you that hope that yes, you can make exercise a habit again, or if it's totally new. All right. Okay. I do see some things coming in. Brandy saying glutes, Lanita saying push-ups. Great. And Tina, like the transverse twist. Awesome. Yes. It's a really good mobility exercise as well, Tina, too. So some of these simple little things, coming back, a blast from the past. I love doing old exercises and the ones that we kind of forget about. Okay. Wait, we talked about the time shift. We talked about, the assets with the hypertrophy. And in case you're catching this on the replay and you are just catching up, make sure you do day 1 assignment of your sticky note of stop, I'm a perfect 10. Now, tomorrow, the reason why you want to come is I am going to try to blow your mind, because when I put this together a couple years ago, I was so blown away about not only the dollars that I was spending, but what I've researched, what we as women spend on things that maybe, we kind of get into this habit and we're like, I turn a blind eye. I can't believe I'm spending that money on XYZ. So for those of you who want more coaching, who you want a one-on-one coach to take you to that next level, I'm going to help you if cost is an objection for you. Because that is the other big objection that I hear from people is, I ain't got the time, I ain't got the money. So we'll talk a little bit about that. Also with the Perfect 10, you guys get the Perfect 10 deal, all right? You get my full Rolls Royce experience with the Envision program. So the Envision program consists of this. You get to work with me one-on-one for a minimum of 6 months. And with that 6-month program, you get your customized nutrition, fitness, you get weekly accountability check-ins, access to me via text message throughout the week. It's basically like we're dating for 6 months. So, you know, I want to date somebody who wants to date me, and I'm sure vice versa. So if you want to book a discovery call and we find that we're not a good fit, don't worry, I'm not going to be hunting you down. I love to love my clients, and that's the only fair thing to do. So sometimes where it's just like, you know, 2 people aren't compatible, that's okay. So don't think for a minute like it just has to be like the stars aligned. So I would say book a free discovery call sooner rather than later, because then we could talk about your goals, what you want to achieve in the next several months, whatever hairy, scary goal it is. I also want to share with you, I think I'm going to do a bonus day, because I've posted in this group time and time again whenever we run these challenges of real life human beings who have gone through my Envision program or currently in my Envision program and the results that they've gotten. So if you haven't had a chance to just not hear it from me, but hear it from someone else, people who have dropped massive amounts of weight, women who have beat perimenopause, kicked menopause's ass, maybe they just were wanting to bounce back from having a baby, and after their 3rd kid, they didn't bounce. Like me, I didn't bounce. I had Roman when I was 36 years old, emergency C-section. He was nearly 10 pounds. And I couldn't believe how all of my hard work, I worked out through my entire pregnancy. I ate so well. And I looked like I was still pregnant after a year. And I had to figure it out. And it was hard. But thankfully, I can now relate to the different struggles that women go through because I've put myself through it, got myself back even better than ever. Learned more about the human body, and I also learned more about, you know, hormones, biohacking, and that sort of thing. So I'd like you guys to hear from these women, but in addition to that, there's a group component to my Envision call where I have 2 Zoom calls a month with my Envision clients outside of the weekly accountability, the customized nutrition, and these things do change over the course of the 6 months. Everybody is different. It really just depends where you are and where you want to go. So if you find yourself constantly on repeat and replay, like this is going to be my year, but it never is, invest in yourself. Okay, I've done that myself where it's like we want to think self-care is getting our nails done and maybe eyelashes. I think that's so fun. I love to see, you know, fun nails on people and beautiful things on your beautiful body. But I will say, if that's still missing the mark for you, if you're like, well, I want to get a taste of what it's like to drive the Corvette, right? Then coaching is probably for you. But I don't cost, to work with me doesn't cost what the price of a Corvette is, okay? And we'll talk about what I charge for Envision tomorrow as well. But I do relate it to this. Whatever your standard or your new standard for your health, fitness, and your mindset is, I encourage you to take that massive action step, right? If you just feel a certain way where you're like, oh my gosh, like I'm just so sick and tired of not getting there, then this program would be for you, right? And those are the type of people that I work with, that I love to work with. You are just ready already, and you go all in. And that can be with anything, right? You know when you're ready already. So make sure you book that call. It's completely free. Or if you're kind of like, well, I'm not in limbo, I don't know if I'm ready, book the call. We could talk a little bit more about it. But the Perfect 10 discount. So I'm not taking any of those bells and whistles off the program, but you do get a Perfect 10 discount if you just have to book the call. You don't necessarily have to sign up. Let's say you book a call for next Wednesday, and we would start in February as soon as possible. You would still get the discount, but you would have to actually book the call during this challenge. Otherwise, I go back to my regular retail price. Sounds fair? Give me some snaps. Give me some love. Okay, so we have our You Work assignment for tomorrow. I look forward to when you're going in stealth mode, and thank you guys for sharing how you were going to inject that tempo training. And once again, thank you to my left-hand man over here for just being the best supporter ever. All right, did I miss anything? Any questions from the field?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, now listen, gals, if you are still out there, please know I am so grateful for you. I could not do what I do without you. And please consider, if you're like, Aubrey, I love Perfect 10. I just want to finish this sucker. Please, please, please share with me your results. That helps me to help other women to continue to at least try this, to help cleanse, heal their body, and to thrive in their earth suit. Okay. Above all, I believe in you, gals. I'm here to help you believe in yourself one ounce more. Ciao. See you tomorrow.